Okay, this is game one.
We're getting started here. Pasty and Durai versus Junior and Refrain.
Yep.
Here on Gates.
From what I can tell, Durai gave me background right after walking off commentary and said him and Pasty barely play, and when they do play, they lose. So we'll have to see how this goes. Because Junior and Refrain are a set team, and they've been going at it for a while.
Oh, really? Do you know how long they've been going at it for?
I feel like just all season. I don't remember if they were at Riptide, but I know they teamed at Heatwave and did really well, like compared to where you would put them like normally.
Okay.
Like CD Meister singles kind of thing.
Makes
So
sense.
it's one of those double teams that punches above their pay grade, kind of.
It does feel like their characters work together pretty well. They both cover space pretty well, and Kraken do a good job covering Clarence's openings when she does open herself up. And Claire does the same thing in turn.
Yeah, I like the comp. Crag's just always good. You can put him with anyone. Ooh, there's a little team combo.
I think just in general, having both gives you kind of advantage in doubles that it doesn't necessarily give you in singles in the same way. You can like survive a very, very long time in doubles. So
Yeah.
the additional recovery mix-ups you have between your teammates saving you and just your opponents not necessarily covering you as hard because they just have more distractions.
Oh, Junior just not ready for a back air. Couldn't be eye in time. But yeah, I think one of the main points of a team being good at doubles compared to singles is how they interact with each other, how they do saves. I've seen teams where I'm played against teams where I'm just comboing the one guy and the other guy is just like not even interacting with us, just doing something else on the other side of the stage. So you need that recognition that your teammate's in trouble and you gotta help. That's one of the most important fundamentals of doubles.
Yeah, I think it's common for a lot of newer doubles players to conceptualize doubles as essentially being two singles matches at the same time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can look like that, but here's
Especially
the
in large
kicker.
stages.
At higher levels, if the game does look this good, it's because the two players who are fighting independently from each other are still aware of what's going on with the other fight. They're able to keep their own space because they know that the other space is being covered.
And it's especially nice to be able to do handoffs as well. Like, because you might think it's two singles matches, then you hit them, they DI out to the side of the stage where you've got a teammate there. And if they can recognize that that's their combo now, you put in a ton of damage. Bad situation for Refrain here. Probably going to be cleaned up, fortunately for that team.
Well, he's fighting his way out of the corner, getting some good hits in.
Yeah, this is not 2v1. It's tough though when they have 3 stocks, because even if you kill one of them, it doesn't even matter. They still got no stock. You can't get back to that 1v1 state.
Not to mention that as Rano, I'm sure Durai can stock tank for quite a while here.
Yeah, that's a little annoying to get over. Probably would have been a Clarence side special to get to that platform, but Clarence Downer does beat Rano on paper. I could see it.
All right, Durai and Pasty, the untrained team, taking that first game. They do feel
well,
like
they did play a lot of games with each other. Durai
okay.
was just like, I don't know, we didn't do very well. So maybe it's just like one of those things where he's like free-johnning to me. Like, just in case I lose, I'll have you know. and now he's winning.
I mean, I think it does matter a lot, like what kind of mindset you go into your game with, and it doesn't always have to be like a super positive mindset. I know some people can psych themselves out by being too optimistic.
Yeah, I do. Because what happens if you think you're the king of the world, you're gonna beat everyone. You lose game 1, and then you have a whole set with your feelings. Still play. Pasty gets another clip on Junior.
I think it's a common, just general fighting game attitude where it's common for a better player to start autopiloting because they believe that they just deserve to win at some level.
Yeah.
When the reality is that you still have to actually take the steps to win. You still have to actually play the game.
Yeah, you got to go through it.
Durai going in, getting that dash attack, trying to just clean up the scrap in the middle here. A lot of chaos happening in the center.
Yeah, Mabel's actually also a super chaotic character for doubles with the Lily and marks and wraps and all that.
Oh, yeah,
There's a lot that can go wrong.
The mechanic is so strange in doubles. Being able to mark multiple opponents is definitely a change.
She goes through over its closest, which means you can have really interesting recovery to your teammate or tethers that capitalize off of like your teammate landing a strong attack.
That does sound really good. I know Maple mains tend to be a bit doomerish when it comes to their character in doubles. Do you know why that tends to be?
I think she's very light is the main thing. Her survivability is horrible. Her recovery is not good at all for doubles.
Gotcha. That definitely goes a further away in doubles than it does in singles. Like, you have these random, like, strong hitboxes all over the place. You're not whip punishing everything on reaction the same way. They're just, like, threats in general are just more numerous and safer. And having to just play this runaway game with a really light character for so long can be pretty frustrating. Oh, great tech from Durai, trying to get the reverse edge guard.
Junior had to make that recovery. Junior needs to hang on to the stock a little longer. Oh boy. I don't. It's gonna be taking it, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one of Crag's benefits in doubles is survivability. So if you're getting edge guarded, you're wasting one of the biggest benefits of the character, unfortunately. It ends up being really rough.
It's interesting. Crag's survivability is really strong, but I imagine how he needs to recover in dubs is pretty different, right?
It's a lot of waiting on pillar for your teammate to like come over.
Okay.
Because it's real edge guarding Crag. You edge guard Crag by just doing nothing, waiting for him to come back up off the pillar, and then punishing him back off stage, etc. So if in doubles, you've got a teammate on the other side of the stage. So if you're edge guarding Crag, you're heavily incentivized to leave him alone to 2v1 the other person real quick.
Right.
Especially if the teammate wins their 1v1 on the other side, and then they come over and help, and you've just got nothing. But that is the set.
Good games.
Crag goes down. Gonna be dry pasty moving on.
Yeah, I feel like the pessimism was a little uncalled for. They're looking really good right now.
Yep.
I mean, both of them, I think, they just have such a solid 1v1 game. That
Yeah, I
they're
agree.
able to separate their opponent's team, which they are able to do. And that, I think, is partially because of their characters. They have, great burst movement, great frame data. They're just able to get into a messy situation, break it up a bit. And I think once they're able to do that, they're able to play their 1v1 game a bit better. And,
Right.
Just clean stocks up that way.
Yeah, that did seem like a couple isolated 1v1s, especially with Junior getting sent off stage a whole lot. Refrain just wasn't able to save Junior either, though, because the other 1v1 was still going on. Was busy with that,
Yeah, one of the interesting things about survivability in doubles is that being off stage for too long is still a disadvantage because you have to worry about your teammate getting team comboed.
Yep.
This is something you see a lot in Melee, for example, where Melee puffs will just live forever and ever and ever, but it's still common to just like hit them off over and over again and just 2v1 the teammate while the puff has to take many, many seconds to come back to stage. And that's why I asked the question about Crag's recovery, because I feel like Crag stalls so long off stage in singles when he tries to recover that imagining him doing the same thing here sounded like a recipe for getting your teammate.
Exactly, yeah. So Crag, you're gonna have to learn the fast recoveries with Crag if you want to help your teammate, because if they recognize that pillar takes so long to go through and just leave you behind to fight the other player, you need to learn the fast recoveries with Crag, just for time's sake, to help your teammate.
Makes sense.
Or you throw like rock shards out from the pillar. You got a good angle for those.
That's true. I guess if you have long-range threats from offstage, that's a little bit different. And I guess a lot of the Rivals cast actually kind of has that.
There's a lot of long-range projectiles. Ooh.
All right, looks like our next set is getting ready here.
Yep, I'm hearing them. I'm hearing Crag noise. I know it when I hear it.
All right, so we've just been given permission to give everyone COVID.
Yep. Give you a kiss later, What I do with all the homies.
Dude, I'm so excited to be here, man. Just seeing everyone again is always awesome.
Genesis is the big one.
Yeah. And it definitely brings the energy. Oh my god, did my audio get really distorted for you?
Yeah, I think so. Probably just too close to the old mouth, you think?
Maybe. Hey, my mouth's not that old.
I mean, I was talking about proximity.
Testing.
I think mine's a good spot. I'm not gonna mess.
Yeah, yours sounds fine to me. Mine's clipping really hard in my ear. I'm not sure why. I don't know what changed.
What you hear, I hear. So I'm with you.
All right, looks like we're gonna have a Crag Ditto actually.
Crag. All right.
Crag and Apsa versus. Oh, we got the Genesis Crag skin coming out.
Yeah, they're going for it. That taunt can just go.
I'm a little surprised this skin's tournament legal, to be completely honest.
It's the Genesis.
It is the Genesis skin. That's true. Yeah, that beautiful sound you all hear right now. That is, I believe, the first voice acting to ever appear in Rivals of Aether.
I think so, yeah.
That definitely qualifies as voice acting.
I always thought the Edward's icicle sound was him breathing, but apparently not. It's just a sound effect. It was neat.
I'm a little surprised there aren't more, like, breath sounds and grunts and things like that.
Yeah. I think they are fixing that in the sequel.
Okay.
The next game, gonna be very noisy apparently.
There definitely seems to be a big emphasis on game feel in Rivals too. I mean, there was in Rivals 1, of course. Like Dan has always been really big on game feel, really big on easy readability, really big on hits being impactful.
The audio hasn't really caught up for a while.
Yeah, hopefully that'll be really good in Rivals too. I remember Dan posted this clip of that shield break, and he posted that the audio was like, in beta, but honestly to me it sounded pretty impactful. Like it sounded like very visceral to me, so I'm pretty excited about what's to come there.
for the ears.
Yeah.
And now for the ears of you at home, we are bringing you Soul Rifle and Y versus Cheesy Potato and Nexplosion. Now, Nexplosion has not played in a while. I think a lot of people in Twitch chat, it may have been years since the last time they've seen Nex on a stream. But I can assure you, these two have been teaming since the game came out. They know the ins and outs of all their playstyles, everything they've been doing. They've played rivals in like the lunchroom at high school every day. So this is a dangerous team right here. And Soul and Y, Soul's also an extremely dangerous doubles player. I haven't seen Y play doubles too much.
Soul is going off main for this one.
Yeah, Soul usually goes crack for doubles. Again, like you talked about with Maple, just a lot of them don't like the Maple that much.
Makes sense.
Especially for Soul Rifle with like the Lily play style. Like you can't do Lily on platform and doubles. There's two people. With like Soul Rifle, despite what he says and who he says he doesn't like, Soul Rifle's a campy player, and you can't really camp with Lily in doubles.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Crag just feels like a character that just like gives you good tools out of the box. Plus, I feel like Crag's a character that is almost like a universal secondary among top players. Like, it's kind of one of those characters that everyone has.
Game one on the big top. You're gonna be looking at my face.
Okay, we got MSB versus Pride on the screen.
All right,
okay,
I
we're back.
win, probably. I don't know. And here we are. All right. So, we've got the Genesis Crag is Cheesy Potato, and the yellow Crag on blue team is Soul Rifle. And then we've got Nex on that classic Apsa. Nex real good at Apsa Crag. I'm not sure, and probably after Rana too. It's already going to be a stock taken by Cheesy on Y.
Yeah, great spike there. Just putting so much pressure on Y offstage that whole time. Largely ignoring the 2v1 versus Soul Rifle, just trying to hunt down that edge guard. Taking the stock lead for it.
Yeah, and I really like their playstyle here. You can tell that Nex is the support and Cheesy's the upfront brawler. Cheesy's definitely one of the best close range combatants in the entire game right now on that Crag. And it's just going to be Nex with the clouds from the back. While Cheesy takes the rest of them on. Perfect. Ooh, there you go.
That was nice.
This is teamwork right here. This is a straight up team. There are not one isolated 1v1s here. They are playing doubles right now.
All right, right down the
yeah, Treetop, the big top has one of the worst side blast zones in the entire game because it's Treetop. So what's supposed to be blast zone is taken up by stage by expanding it. So you just die off the side basically immediately on this double stage.
And this stage is actually different in doubles. There's a couple stages in Rivals that are different in doubles from singles. I feel like that's kind of unique for Rivals. Most platform fighters don't have that property.
Well, because they were just banned. Treetop was always banned in doubles,
True.
and Force Floor was the big version originally, and that was banned in singles. So they decided, and that's already an incredible game one from Nex and Cheesy.
I feel like the big takeaway from that game is if both you and your teammate are in the center, and your opponents are separate while you're in the center between them, that is such a powerful position to just keep pushing over and over again. And when Y and Soul Rifle got the same position, I feel like they weren't able to convert it the same way. For example, it did seem that when Cheesy was recovering, for example, Y would focus a lot more on trying to nail down that edge guard rather than go help his teammate out.
That's what we were talking about earlier with how Crag's recovery takes so long. You're often better off harassing the other player than actually committing to the long edge guard.
And I think like whether to go for it or not, it depends on how well your teammate is doing in the 1v1. So when Cheesy did the exact same thing as Stock earlier, I think it was completely justified because Nexplosion was doing such a great job just holding down the fort on the other end of the stage. Whereas when I saw Y doing the same thing, we saw a scrap on the right side. These two were scrapping it out. And then when Cheesy was finally able to make it back, we saw the entire game get pushed to the right side of the screen, and that forward smash just took two stocks at once.
Yeah, so I think that if I'm Y and Soul Rifle, I think I would want to 2v1 Nexplosion. I would want to bring the fight to him and really just make Cheesy have to respond instead of being able to play proactively. So instead of Nex being able to throw back the clouds nice and safe, I'd want both Y and Soul Rifle to put on a lot of pressure and stay roughly together with each other, not too close, because then Cheesy can hit both of you at the same time and take that pressure back off. But just keep a good enough distance to help out if needed, like when Cheesy finally strikes back, you know?
That makes sense. It feels like kind of an extension of the typical donut strategy you see talked about versus Crag in singles. I mean, both Apsa and Crag are pretty slow. Just being able to sort of get in their face without being too committal, to just keep them from putting out their big zoning options, that's going to shut down their positional play a lot.
Yeah, so instead what we're seeing is isolated 1v1s. It looks like it's just going, Y is taking the job of rushing down Nex, while Soul Rifle and Cheesy are just kind of trying to go even. And so far, it looks like a big reversal here. Crag getting that wall tech nair just means you're dead on a stage with lessons like this. Yeah, I just don't agree with edgeguarding Crag. I would just abandon that and go for the 2v1. Still, though, successful one there by Y. Y looking killer this game.
Yeah, right there,
Super
Y and
important
Soul just
comeback
like
game.
cleaning it up independently on either side. Oh, Y getting Julie in the bubble. Can we get a conversion here? And Julie
Ooh, she gets the
breaking out.
parry. Oh, but a pillar save comes out. Still, that is, I think that's 18 from forward strong right before the pillar save. That's a lot of damage, by the way.
That's crazy. And I do think damage kind of matters more in doubles. For a lot of the same reasons we've been saying. Like, just the natural flow of, scaling a percent and hitting someone with one hard hit, I think is more of a thing in doubles compared to singles where you have more, orient a combo, orient like a sequence of advantage states into a kill.
Yeah, and damage is a great thing to have in this game because it is hard to get those edge guards. So we are seeing plenty this game with Soul Rifle actually dying due to missing attack on the pillar. And another misattack on pillar. It's really tough to hit your techs in doubles because there's just so much going on. When you pillar and frag, you look at your teammate to see how to get back on the stage. So if someone comes down there and just hits you, it can be difficult to know what's going on and react in time to tech.
Oh, we got the team combo. Soul Rifle scooping Julie up. Y looking for the up air off the top. And now they're just beating red team back and forth here.
Ooh, next with a short up instead of a full hop, misses that kill on the parry with that bear attempt. Another parry comes out. Oh, but good momentum there. And we've got our dangerous 2v1 here for Cheesy. Already dead. We got game 3. Really great comeback game.
Yeah, Y and Soul Rifle really pulling it together compared to last game. I feel like their game plan was much more on point.
Yeah.
In general, it felt like they had more awareness of how safe their teammate was.
Yeah.
I think that's really just what it comes down to, because how you play a lot of these situations is gonna be pretty similar between games 1 and 2, outside of how safe it is based on how your teammate's doing. Yeah. So if you're looking for those edge guards or not, whether that's good risk reward or not, depends on how your teammate's doing. When you're going trying to get that kill off the top, depends on how your teammate's doing.
Exactly. And I think that what they did, my 2 pieces of advice for Y and Soul Rifle were put pressure on the APSA and use a buddy system to get saves. So we saw next having to really struggle with Y's aggressive neutral on the Rano. And in addition, a lot of nice saves coming up from Soul Rifle with the pillar and everything with that. So now for Nex and Cheesy, I'd like to see just better recoveries. Maybe on a big stage, this is a great idea because now Nex can breathe and get away from Y and set up these clouds.
Yeah, the buddy system you mentioned is a really good point, because I feel like it's easy to sort of theoretically think of doubles as this thing where you're able to pay attention to all 3 characters at once. Right. And that's just not true. That is just not a good theoretical framework for doubles at all. The reality is that your attention is split all the time. Your attention is split between your teammate, it's split between your 2 opponents, and in Rivals especially, it's split between all the articles that these characters are putting out all the time. Krag's Rock, Alpha's Cloud, Rano's Bubble. There's so much to pay attention to, and a lot of doubles comes down to finding opportunities to be able to look at the whole screen and get all that information in a quick snapshot at once. And so being able to quickly tell your opponent, hey, sorry, your teammate, hey teammate, I need help, take a look at what's going on, snap his attention back into focus, suddenly you got a game.
And a lot of the time, a lot of teams' downfalls in doubles are you say, hey teammate, I need help. And the teammate's in the middle of a combo on the other side of the stage. Because they weren't looking at you, they were looking at the opponents instead. So it's a strange dynamic of doubles having to look at yourself, your teammate in theory, an extension of yourself truly,
Absolutely.
Instead of your opponents all the time, as you would in singles.
And I think at high levels of play, you can kind of feel out what your opponent is looking at.
Yeah.
Are they paying attention to their teammate? Are they paying attention to me? What are they paying attention to right now? And framing your sort of in-the-moment tactics around that can go a long way.
So now in this game, we've got a bit of a lopsided stock count. Nex is doing the tanking job. I think Cheesy's going to lose this before Nex loses, and Cheesy's going to have to take, which is Nex's job. So Nex has gone back to doing his job on a bigger stage when we saw with Game 1. And it's up to Cheesy to do the damage.
Oh, Cheesy trying to, oh my god, oh my god!
There
Nice
it is,
up-airs.
there's the damage. It's actually Nex's combos, Nex's moves doing it with that Cloud Bomb coming out. Okay, so here's going to be the stock take. We're on to 1 stock apiece. Could be anyone's set here.
Yeah, Nex is kind of the silent hero of the set. I mean, I feel
I
like
agree.
we're not talking about it as much as the other players, but that's because, a lot of his plays have been more about setting up the position to make great plays happen.
Nex is in trouble here, though. Oh, okay, Cheesy with the save, but Nex TI's the nair in. It's going to be Cheesy with a 2v1. This is doable. It's going to be very tough.
Oh, she's going way high.
Going to be a pillar down here. Oh, head
Oh, no!
Okay, that's the set. We hear the pop-off from here.
Oh, wow.
And a
They're
chair,
going off.
A chair pays the ultimate price.
Yeah, you got to pick up that chair.
You got to do your fist
Wear
bump,
on your
Steams.
back.
Come on, come on. All right.
Good games. That was a
Intense
fun
set.
set.
Yeah, I think in the end, Next, wasn't ready for Sword, just burst out a Nair. It's pretty tough with Abs with the light character against Crag, because Crag can do his forward air, and you don't want to DI that one out. So you DI in, but then you get Nair. Nair up strong.
Yeah, Opsa in general seems like she's kind of in a tricky situation where, you know, her lightweight and zoning tools, usually, like, those things can go really far in singles because she's able to create that space herself, but she kind of needs to be protected a bit more so she can, like, set up for her teammate in doubles.
Absa's biggest weakness is her weight in doubles. It actually matters in doubles. In singles, Absa's light, but she recovers for free.
Yeah.
So she just DIs out off stage and recovers. In doubles, it's not always the case. There's so much more going on that Absa can absolutely catch a stray hit and die very early.
And even if you're recovering for free, that doesn't mean that much if your teammate is dying for free at the same time, right?
Yeah, you also have to consider, like, Absa's recovery can take a long time with double jump cloud and up B jukes and everything. So if they do, like what we talked about with Crag, abandon the edge guard to do a quick 2v1 maneuver, that can be pretty bad for the Absa as well. Absa is one of the best characters, but she has a lot to watch out for in doubles.
Makes sense. Do you feel like Opsa Crag is a pretty synergistic team?
I'd say Absa Crag is the best team right now.
Oh, just straight up?
Just the best team.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a top-tier comp.
Okay.
Like, Shovel Knight's very low-key in doubles, but he's also very... He's both very rare to play as, so we don't see him, but that, and then in exchange, that means he's very rare to play against, so we don't see the counterplay for him, so it might be like... Because Shovel Knight's the ultimate wildcard character. There's a lot you might not be used to against him.
Yeah, I can see that.
The main thing with Shovel Knight in doubles is that he gets so much money. He can buy he can get full kit super early.
He gets a lot of money. I feel like one of his big issues in singles is getting whiff punished, and so
Yeah.
he can just kind of throw out his like moves safer.
Yeah, as long as if the team is there to help him, he can get a lot going. And it's also like your DI is a little less on point in doubles, so you DI out on his strungs and in on his kill combos.
Gotcha.
We did see Slime Puffin play a lot of Shovel Knight last wave.
As far as the relics go, I guess the honk is pretty good for splitting
The
up
honk is awesome.
team situations.
Ghost Gloves is very, very bad in doubles, I'd say.
see that, yeah.
It's just, there's just not that kind of neutral situation, you know, where it would be good. Like, you can get the good Ghost Glove forward strong confirmed or use it for an edge guard, but again, if you're taking a long time edge guarding with Ghost Gloves, your teammate could be in trouble, or you're giving up a 2v1, so there's just better things to do.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
the gear to create chaos neutral, or the horn to create chaos and punish, I prefer for double.
I feel like Ghost Glove is designed to be this like super low risk, low reward tool, but doubles intrinsically gives volatility to every situation.
Yeah.
So nothing is
You
like
want that home
consistently
run, you
low
want to hit
risk.
the jackpot.
Yeah.
If Sego's playing Shovel Knight, I would look like a genius for breaking up randomly. It might be Crag. I feel like it's going to be Crag, though. Sego's usually Crag in doubles.
Sego newly sponsored.
Root beer.
Oh, is it a root brewery?
I think it's
thought it was a brewery.
I think it's both. I don't know. We'll have to ask, because I don't know the exact specifics of the sponsor. It is a brewery in Wisconsin of some kind. I don't know. Like, I heard about it on Twitter, and someone's like, you gotta try it. Their root beer's really good. Like, people under 21, so, you know. I think I don't know.
I mean, I definitely think dry bars should be more of a thing. There's some delicious beverages out there, for sure. Looks like they're getting set up. Great stuff to Sego nailing down that sponsorship before making it out here.
Yeah.
Apparently
Always
Sego's got a
good.
hell of a weekend planned, because he's got to like finish an essay or something
sure.
like
Yeah,
by Monday.
At Frostbite, right after I got second, I had to work on a ton of coding because I just had a big old backlog.
No.
For
Oh,
not school, but like just like a job kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I had to just get all of that handled in the hotel room before my flight.
That's stressful, man. Dry and Pacey are coming back to the setup. I imagine they're feeling more confident after that last set.
It's always good to get some momentum under your belt, especially with teams like, because that first set, even if you're rolling it over, you learn a lot about your teammates' habits if you haven't played with them in bracket in a while.
Yeah.
Like me and Steven, like he's always busy TOing, so we can't really practice on friendlies before the bracket. So we just learn as we play about like how we're feeling on the day and when to save, when to go in.
On Anti with that beautiful Sweet Spot shirt.
Yep.
Shout out to Sweet Spot Esports.
We got some sponsored lads out here.
Yeah, Durai and Anti were just on here commentating doubles themselves, and now they're going to be fighting against each other in this battlefield.
Yeah. Cutthroat world out here.
Do you know how Anti is in dubs?
I haven't seen Anti play doubles too much. I don't know who they usually team with, because when Sego is teaming, it's usually with Sparks, right?
Oh,
so
is it?
Sparks
Okay.
not here at Genesis. Was signed up, was seeded first in his Guilty Gear Strive full, but is not going to be here. The reschedule is just too inconvenient.
Too bad.
So
Too bad.
it's going to be the Sego anti-comp instead. And I don't think I've seen them at a major, because usually when Sego's, there's Sparks there, you know?
I imagine that as long as your teammate is good at cleaning up the kills, Ori's bonkers and dubs. That's what I would imagine. I would imagine
actually had to switch off of Ori. Kusi switched off of Ori and tried to play Crag.
Really?
Yeah, Kusi Cobra got 9th place, losing to Happy Akashi and I believe Slime Proto.
Oh, snap.
And then they played each other to see who got into top 6. So we'll be seeing Happy Akashi in top 6 losers, as well as me and Steven, because we lost to Cake Penguin in Winter Semis, which was played before the top 6.
That will be fun.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to all
I don't
those
think
sets.
it'll be the two of us. It'll be like whoever gets to top 6 losers from this wave that I'll be playing against.
Right.
And then Happy Akashi will be whoever gets in from top 6 winners. Looks like a game restart. So, just the usual rival setup. With 4 controllers, it can be annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
Doubles is especially dangerous for this game. Just PC game and stuff in general.
What controller is Sego on? It looks like his controller is what's causing this.
Xbox.
Xbox. Word.
Xbox should work. But yeah. I actually played some Switch Rivals yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah, so Mars posted on Twitter about wanting to play Rivals, so I invited him to my hotel room and played some games. I made him Rano Ditto Lucius on the Switch.
Okay.
Because actually, like, Lucius was like, I don't feel anything about this. And Lucius and Mars both Ultimate players. They know Switch Rivals. When I played on it, I noticed input delay.
Okay. Interesting.
So, just not a crazy amount, but yeah. So
Even feeling a little bit if you're used to not having it, it is definitely kind of rough.
Yeah.
I feel like I probably wouldn't have noticed it pre-rollback, but now that I've been playing on
Yeah,
rollback
it
for
was
so long,
better-
if I go
better
play on
connection.
like an input delay console, it's gonna like feel weird.
yeah, my point in the end was that the PC is the best console for Rivals.
Absolutely.
Better control variety, less input delay. So sometimes we gotta restart the game, make sure all the drivers are working with all the different controller types.
I mean, the Switch just doesn't have that much power. Period. It just struggles a lot.
Yeah, so it's something native to the system. I think a lot of consoles, like even for games like Strive, which I keep bringing up because it's right next to us, I just keep looking over and seeing it. The PC is technically the best version for that, but the PlayStation is not that far behind. So the
Gotcha.
PlayStations are used for the convenience. All right, we got Rivals launched again. Everyone's warming up. Looks like 4 working controllers to me.
All right, there we go. Yeah, Rivals is definitely has a history of controller issues. Probably the most like notorious controller issues in Rivals are the keyboard issues. You know, Rivals is a game that is designed to be played on keyboard potentially, but the game does not support connecting multiple keyboards at once.
Yeah, there are, I believe, 3 keyboard players here. Protagify, BioBurb. and-
BioBurb, okay.
Yep, also knows Windows. And then Fruit Loops, who's around.
Oh, okay.
So actually at Taps, I think we had a double keyboard set. And one of the teams just like, okay, we give up, we're gonna focus on singles.
Okay.
But then, no, the opponent said they gave up, we get the win. And then later the team went up to me and said, hey, I'm gonna play on controller. And I was like, it's been half an hour, you're already DQ'd. Because it was a while later. So I was like, I'll refund your doubles entry. Sorry about that, but yeah, you gotta let me know earlier.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
All right,
so
here
yeah,
we
no
go.
double keyboard. No
Starting,
good for Rivals.
starting here on Fire Capital, we have the Ori Crag team coming out versus Ryan Pasty.
So I think Sego is well positioned to be the star of the show here. Though Anti's very explosive Ori playstyle could sneak some awesome early kills here.
Oh.
It really depends though, because Ori, like in doubles, there's a big complex about not disciplining your teammate and not SD. So you take a lot less risks than you would, which with Ori extends to the bash.
I see. That's interesting. There's definitely that psychological component. Oh my
Not gonna
lord.
go crack though. Yeah, that was an extender.
I will say I'm a little surprised by this stage pick as the starter because it seems so strong for both Ori and Crag.
Yeah, it's generally in doubles, it's all about big or small. So with the big stages, you've got Treetop now, which went from small to big, and then Fire Capital, Frozen Fortress, Forest 4, and a little bit Hideout. So this could just be that this was the only big stage open, and if maybe Treetop was open, I didn't see the stage fans. So maybe Treetop was open, they picked that instead, but just all these, thing about big stages is that you can have 2 isolated 1v1s. So I think that these are all very headstrong players, and they're all completely fine with having those 1v1s on the big stage.
Ooh, Pasty's spiking his teammate on accident, but Durai looking okay for now. Putting on the pressure on Sego.
Yeah, Sego was distracted and unable to make the save there. It looks like Sego and Anti don't really have a lot of synergy with each other. Like I'm seeing a lot of potential saves and team combos that are just kind of going by the wayside.
It does feel like they're both very focused on hitting their opponent.
Yeah. Well, okay, so here's Sego coming for the save, so that was very good. Completely abandoning the Maple. Maple in the corner, very cagey. It's going to be not a guaranteed thing, so you just go over help your teammate. Perfect play. Oh, Gooey helping out. Betrayer.
And Anti doing a great job just following up on that scramble situation. After that big hit, oh my god!
Okay, we got to come back in the making here. This game's basically gone back to even after a rough start for Sego Anti. And there it is. Now ahead in stocks. Sego needs to hold on to this one for a while, though. I think Durai is looking for something like a down tilt Dacus.
And on the other side, Anti is trying to threaten a bash off stage. Oh, once again, getting Pasty in an awkward situation.
Oh, okay, Durai's going to do the Neil Smith thing. No, it goes for a dive pick recovery. And Sego just waits.
Oh, one weird thing about the stage is that you don't actually see very far off stage. The camera does not
camera
go
is no
very
good
far.
for this. Because it's a pixel-based game, there's no zoom. No zoom in, no zoom out. So the camera is what it is. There's only a finite amount of space. Sego doing an excellent job living, but kills his teammate, but Durai saves.
That was 2 almost team kills in a row. That's crazy.
I don't blame saves when it's a team kill. Like if I'm the opponent and my team and my opponents are killing each other, and I go for a save, I don't feel bad about that. Because like, what are you doing? Why are you killing your teammate? You can't really.
It's like a
that.
homie stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, where are you going?
Anti with the SD, but Sego clinches it. Finishes the edge guard.
That was a clean
Really good
walk-off
comeback,
up
yeah.
air.
I think Sego living that long. Crag on a big stage like that lives forever. Crag is the stock tank. Yeah, Crag is literally top tier in doubles.
Do you feel like Crag's stock tank's harder than the other super heavies? You know, Eliana,
Yes,
Evelys,
because of the
etc.?
pillar.
Okay.
So Crag can set up a pillar on the side to save himself and his teammate. He can set up a pillar at the wall and just go back there, use to further recover.
Makes sense.
And with his weight, he just lives forever. With Aether, it's a lot. Aether has to come down so you can quickly edgeguard Aether. Ellie is pretty good though at living. Just be careful because with the ejection, with 3 other players on the screen that hit the snake.
But I guess your teammate can kind of help you sort of cover that landing lag a bit better. And so suddenly your one really unsafe option actually has a bit of safety to it.
Yeah. Sylvanos also lives a while, but I think he's just bad at everything else in doubles.
Yeah. Sylv doesn't seem like
Sylv's best teammate is Eliana because she's always in the air. And if you try to play grounded with a Sylvanos in your team, he's just going to hit you. He's going to hit you. Here we are on the biggest stage of them all. The camera is a nightmare here. It barely even covers the stage, let alone when it has to go off stage and look at someone in the blast zone.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. Was singles forest floor ever considered for doubles? Because like this used to be the singles forest floor.
Yes, singles forest floor was very allowed in doubles.
Okay.
But it was banned in singles for a time. Not before I lost a couple Game 5 in RCS Majors on the stage.
Okay.
But it was eventually banned.
Gotcha. What I meant more is the new version of Force Flow that only has 2 platforms. Was that ever considered as a double stage?
No, as soon as that was put in the game on the same patch as the Big Top. So they were both, I believe so, at least. I might be wrong.
Great pressure coming up from Dry here. Oh, but we're going to get the tech chase from Sego, trying to push Dry off stage, but that huge recovery is going to get it back to center. And now, Durai and Pasty kind of have Anti in an awkward situation. They're really putting a lot of pressure, and Sego is struggling to keep up to try to save his teammate here.
Yeah, so there's a couple, when you've got someone stock tanking on Crag on a big stage, I think one of the best things to do is to focus on the teammate and just drain that stock bank. Like, let Crag do his thing, take a while, and if you kill the Ori enough times, those Ori stocks start becoming Crag stocks.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you have your choice as to who you're singling in on in a game that has a stock stealing. Unless Sego is able to sort of put himself in front of Anti as sort of Anti's bodyguard.
But that's
to
very
prevent
difficult on the
situations.
stage with the size.
With the size and with Crag's movement speed.
Yep.
Okay.
Off-stage pillar being a little funky. Sego's just not getting rid of it.
Huge team up 4 strong, just covering so much space. Gonna be great for sucking up two opponents at once.
Oh, Sego tried to die to pillar, but it was too low. So that is going to be a Crag stock, which is very precious, because Ori's going to need that next stock. Sego doesn't have 2 stocks, Sego has 1 stock, and Ori has 2. But still, with a couple quick up airs, this stage has a crazy low ceiling, especially with the platforms being high in some cases.
Would you say that Maple Rano is trying to do a similar dynamic, even though Rano isn't, quite as sturdy as Crag? Rano still has, generally considered a pretty strong recovery.
Rano can stall his recovery with Bubble, which means that he does end up living for longer because you generally abandon the edge guard on him. Compared to Ori, who does have a wall cling and the parasol, so they can both stall and wait for teammates. They're both very good at that. But Rano is a little heavier, and has better mash out areas with their back air.
I guess I see the difference with Ori as being, you know, if Ori stalls off stage with that move, they kind of stay in a really bad situation.
Yeah, Rano can use his bubble to get into a better situation, but Ori's situation gets worse over time with the parasol and the wall playing.
Like, you're trading position for timing mix-ups, whereas with Rano, I feel like it's just a good option.
Anti has done an incredible job of surviving with this last stock, by the way. And yeah, just doesn't even lose it.
Wow.
That's the set.
That's a clean 3-stock.
Very great survivability from Anti in that last stock. That could have been a disaster if Anti lost that stock, had to take, and then ended up getting comboed by Durai again, you know? So Anti definitely a bit of a hero for that second game.
Yeah, he was just all over the map there. He was running
Yeah,
everywhere
Ori
he needed to
Ori
be.
on a stage that size can be everywhere.
Absolutely.
So I don't agree with the counter pick. I guess it was for the Maple to do the kind of the same thing, but Ori's plat movement is better and a lot more threatening with plat up air compared to like Maple Nair.
Just in general, I mean, I said the same thing about Fire Capital. I feel like big stages versus Ori and Crag, at least it feels unintuitive to me.
Yeah,
like when
I'd
you're playing Rano and Maple.
Small stage. I'd love to see a small stage.
Yeah. Like, you know, Rano does have some long-range tools. Maple does have that speed, but ultimately they want to be getting in. They want to be mashing these pretty big buttons overall. They want to be pushing the horizontal pressure all the way and get those offstage kills. Yep. And I feel like that's so much easier on a stage like, I mean...
Tower of Heaven kind of thing?
Yeah, Tower of Heaven, or even like, I could see like, you know, Treetop is big vertically, but it's small horizontally, and I could see that working in a dynamic like this as well.
I think Fire Capital Force were the exact two wrong stages for Durai and Tasty.
Yeah. I will say I'm a little surprised. Do you feel like that's a common thing you see from teams that try to create the double 1v1 setup?
I think it was a double 1v1 attempt, but I think Sego Anti was able to hold his own, and if you're not killing Anti, because Ori doesn't have to opt into the double 1v1, Ori can just run away. And then so then you've got Sego, who's a top player, very high seed of this tournament, handling the other 1v1 and just getting all these kills.
Yeah. Like, you have one character that wants you to come in for the 1v1, and one character that can just run away from the 1v1.
Yeah.
So, honestly, overall, Ori Crag just seems like a very, very strong team.
I think it all depends on the Ori survivability. Because if Crag can get good saves, then Ori can really run away, pick battles, and leave it to Crag for the rest.
Makes sense. So, so, like, in my mind, a team like Ori and Crag, like, that's, like, what I would want to play if I were to enter doubles. Like, that to me sounds like this is, like, a very top-tier kind of team.
Teammate. He does everything.
How do you see, like, Ori Crag versus Opposite Crag?
I think Absa can put a lot of pressure on the Ori.
Okay.
It's going to be really hard for Ori to run away against the Cloud.
Okay, that's interesting. So Cloud kind of like denies some of the runaway tactics that some of the more high mobility characters of the game has. So that would include Ori. That would include perhaps Raster, perhaps Maple.
Yeah, I think Ori, Raster, Maple would all struggle against Abs in doubles. We're getting a bit of an audio glitch here. Probably going to need a game restart once they get around to that. I know Rivals bugs by hearing them and how to solve them.
That is pretty funny. Wait, what is the oh, is that distortion sound? That weird
you can hear like a little clipping sound.
Oh, it's gone now.
Well, it's because they backed out of character select. I think this has to be a game restart.
Oh, okay, word.
Oh, I hear Orcane. Maybe they were making the noise on purpose, like a bunch of scoundrels. All right. Looks like they figured it out.
All right, we
have... Oh, it was a keyboard noise. It was a keyboard noise.
So we have BioBurb.
Yeah.
Who's this BioBurb guy? I never heard of BioBurb.
BioBurb?
Who's BioBurb?
Wow.
He's a keyboard player too. That's
on the keyboard. Better not play against Windows. No, can't do double keyboard here. This is going to be a tense set. BioBurb has aspirations for winning the entire event with Zaro. They did win the last Genesis. They won G7.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, are they first seed at this event? I guess Cake and
I think the Cake are still first seed. Okay. So this is I think this is the 2 and the 3 seed in winter semis.
Okay.
Could be. No. I think the 3 seed CB Bagel.
Well, either ways, these two, I think definitely
a
good choice to potentially take the whole tournament. Cake Penguin, obviously, you know, an extremely strong team.
Yep.
Most likely the favorite to be waiting in grands. But I do absolutely think these two will put up a hell of a fight. And can potentially take them down altogether.
I think Sega and Anti can take it too. It's really all about Anti getting the heck away from Orcane and Crag's kill moves. Like, this is a... These two, Orcane Crag, can't really chase down the Ori that well. I'd say. Like, if Ori's plat camping...
Wait, so does the player formerly known as Windows, does he usually go Crag in doubles?
Yes, always.
Okay.
Windows Raster is no good in doubles.
It's no good in doubles. Can you elaborate a bit on that?
Raster in doubles, again, benefits from a runaway strategy, but he can't really do the plat camp that Ori can do because Raster camping is limited to one horizontal plane at a time with Slipstream. So with 2 people, it's really, you can't really play that patient Raster neutral. And Raster's combos last so long, it's easy to get for the teammate to get them out. And they're like in place too, so Raster's not really even usually traveling if it's DI in.
Gotcha.
There's just a whole mess for Raster.
Okay, that makes sense.
And he's really light, so he dies to everything. The best Raster team is double Raster, because they can use 2 Slipstreams at a time and do two 1v1s with 2 Slipstreams.
Oh, and then actually
for
play
really
their
good
full game
combos.
plan. That's
So,
really
yeah.
cool.
It was Matty Ice and Mike, also known as Blue, who played double Raster and got a crazy good placement. I think they might have beaten Cake Penguin.
Then you have 2 claps to cover all drift reads.
Yeah, exactly. So double Raster is somehow the only Raster team that's really good.
That's pretty funny, actually. But we're going to get into this. We have Zaro and Bio Beetle versus Sego and Anti.
Already a stock taken off Anti, which is what you don't want to see.
Oh my god, and another team taken off Red Team.
I think Anti needs to play incredibly defensively and just going for saves when Sego ends up losing neutral. Oh yeah, bad awareness from Anti charging is strong with the teammate there to help.
There's a certain kind of formation that you often see, at least in melee doubles, I don't know, rivals doubles as well, but there's a certain formation you sometimes see where you'll kind of have a heavy hitter move towards the opponent while a fast character kind of dash dances behind them.
Yeah.
Looking to pick up any kind of whip punish.
Or go for a save.
Or go for a save.
That's what we need to see here. It puts a lot of pressure on Anti to succeed, though.
And kind of working out right there.
Yeah.
Anti just controlling center stage, and when BioBurb, you know, went for the full center stage recovery, was just able to cover it even though Sego was not.
Oh yeah, okay, barely living that against the Bio Beetle.
Really good DI by Anti. The puddle Armstrong, so powerful.
Sego just gets Orcaned out, and it's going to be Anti with a 2v1 here. Very, I'd say it's doable if it was like 1 stock apiece, but 2 apiece is rough. That's such a safety net for Anti to deal with.
Yeah, so I feel like Ori is probably one of the best characters at 1v2ing from neutral, but it's not one of the best characters at actually securing kills against either of these characters. And especially going for like certain kinds of raids to kill are going to be really dangerous on a 1v2 setup. You try to go for an upstrong, you're going to get punished. You try to go for a patch and bash, you might die for it.
And right there, we saw Orcane dash attack bounce Anti off the pillar into an upstrong confirm. So just not what Ori wants to do. Not Ori's job to do the whole 2v1. Crag very important in the comp.
That was a beautiful desktop background, by the way.
Desktop background's a staple of rival streams at locals.
Yo, these Crags they're bobbing out of sync with each other.
Yeah, the idle
like
animation.
perfectly out of phase.
Frames. Oh, profile deleted. Gonna be sitting. Right, so Sego, despite already playing a stream set, wants to remake his tag from the ground up, which is interesting. Oh, this is an uncomfortable tag.
We didn't have Rumble before, I guess, on BioBird?
Interesting. Oh. Is it a character? Here we go.
Does Sego use different controls?
I guess maybe. Might be the case.
There's some shortcut for like doing the taunt really fast, right?
You can choose which item to buy with the C stick.
Okay.
Up, down, left, right, and then you just press A to get Ghost Gloves. Because it's where it starts. It starts on Ghost Gloves.
Gotcha.
Ooh, we got some lighting.
The TO said, "Let there be light," and suddenly the venue was filled with light.
All right, they have 4 bans, so they are going to use all 4. It's best of 3. And so Shovel Knight Ori, not a team I'm familiar with at all, really.
Shovel Knight in general
Very rare character.
is probably one of the rarest characters
Yeah.
out there. He definitely has a reputation for being janky, cheesy, and overall not that amazing. But definitely viable and definitely
in doubles he is high. I'd say high tier at minimum doubles.
Okay.
He holds his own easily here, but he's just so rare that it's going to be tough to see what goes on. I think Shovel Knight, especially against Crag, Crag can really take advantage of Shovel Knight with a patient neutral, but we don't see that too often in doubles, especially with Ori also putting on pressure. So Shovel Knight gets to kind of skip the neutral in a lot of cases and go through that crazy early offstage game.
That's really good. I mean, skipping neutral is exactly what Shovel Knight would like to be able to do.
Exactly.
And like when I think of Shovel Knight, I associate Shovel Knight primarily with his survivability, which already goes pretty far in singles.
Awesome
I imagine it's going to go even further here.
Awesome recovery. He can recover fast, slow, medium. And we got Anti killing BioBird, but also dying to the Orcane. And BioBird cleans it up on the next stop.
But it's beyond just him having good recovery options. He's got a lot of mix-ups, but he's also so heavy in addition to that.
Yeah, well, if you can get momentum mail, it's awesome. But you can get any relic in doubles, really, although Ghost Gloves is a little strange.
Ghost Gloves would be
Sego DIing all the way in.
Oh, we got the forward airs coming out. Just gonna attack on this damage.
Sego very poor for what you'd expect our Shovel Knight doubles. With so many people to hit, you can get money very fast. And Sego kind of abandoning the coin collect to go for more punish opportunities instead. It reflects in his bank account.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like, you know, Zaro and BioBurb are applying so much pressure that Sego may feel the need to retaliate immediately. Like,
Oh, good save.
like Zaro and
And
BioBurb
save.
are just piling up this lead so quickly that
Yeah, it's just rough. I don't like this stage pick. I think we needed a bigger stage. Anti-final cleans us back up with the parasol off the top, though. Could maybe mount the comeback here, but a kill on Bio would be necessary.
oh, we got a relic.
I like here. Put some chaos in the neutral.
Here's gonna be
That's
crazy.
the urgent kill. Needs to save anti though. Perfect. All right. So on this stock, it's really just about anti-surviving, not being too aggressive, but already getting flagged down by Bio's Nares over and over again.
Alright, Ori trying to make it back on stage. Oh, good job.
Looks like,
Good recovery.
looks like a misinput. Might have been a bash instead of down air. Booking down input.
Oh, that was a bash attempt, barely missing it.
Orkane
Oh
just
my
doing down
God.
strong from the platform, and now Sego's all just a little rough.
Sometimes you just gotta show him the frame 7.
Zaro's strongest technique, to the regret of our ears.
Alright, let's see if this Shovel Knight can survive
Yeah.
for 3 stocks, and he cannot.
And that down strong covers the whole platform. Nowhere for Shovel Knight to go.
Good games.
We will be moving on. So we are going to see Windows with BioBurb and Zaro again.
Who's this Windows guy? I never heard of Windows.
It's not.
before.
We're not allowed to say Windows. Like I've gotten explicit permission
Sure.
from him to use that. It's not. It's
I'm
not like
just memeing.
an illegal name or anything. But yeah.
Sure.
So I'm not gonna feel bad for messing it up. But I would like to get the tag right
Yeah.
as much as I could.
Do you know what the history behind the tag change is?
I think on Twitter he said like he got the tag I clean Windows when he was 10 years old making an Xbox Live account and just doesn't actually feel attachment to it.
Okay.
I think Bio is the name of the white bird mascot that he appreciates.
Oh,
So
okay, gotcha. Word.
so it's just kind of, you know, furrying it up a little. It's Rivals community.
Let's go. And so we don't expect to actually see the bird come out at any point during this.
Not doubles, no, not at all.
Okay.
Like maybe if Bio was down 2 games, just felt like playing Raster, it would be throwing the set in
Okay.
his mind. Even if it would actually be a good pick, I think he's just so conditioned to not want to play Raster in doubles that we're not going to see it.
But there was a time in the past, I assume, where he tried the Raster.
Yes, absolutely. Me and him used to be statics, and it was Crag Raster.
Okay, so you felt the pain firsthand of teaming with a Raster.
Yeah, a lot of early deaths. It wasn't a bad comp at all. It was a pretty good comp because Crag is good with anybody.
Okay,
But,
sure.
I think it makes more sense
But
to play
it's
Crag.
bad for a Crag comp.
It's okay.
And good for a Raster comp.
I think a double Crag might be better than Crag Raster. We did team
Okay.
at Frostbite 2020, the last pre-pandemic big tournament, and we tried all sorts of teams. We just couldn't settle on one.
Gotcha.
I even went Quern a couple times. I tried because I didn't like double Crag. I just felt like it was too slow. So we tried me on the Quern and Bio on the Crag, and it just didn't feel good.
Yeah, I would imagine the double Crag can kind of get double donated in a sense, especially if they get split up.
I
Potentially
feel like
donut
one of
one-
Crag's
both
worst
Crags with one
partners
donut.
is himself.
Okay.
Just because he already fills the role that he's there for.
Yeah.
You'd be better off picking someone else to
I
play a
think-
variety of roles.
I feel like in general, teams that do well when they're like 2 of the same character are when that character is like an all-rounder. Like when that character can both initiate and find kills and to some extent win. Maybe that last one's not as necessary, but like you kind of need like a complete package to like really be able to like sort of
Yeah.
team with yourself. But then when you have that, sometimes it gets too powerful in those situations. Like you have
Yeah, like the
situations
double Cloud in Smash 4.
Double Cloud in Smash 4, Double Meta Knight in
Yeah,
Brawl.
Brawl.
I know like there are some tournaments that are playing around with banning Double Fox from melee doubles,
Right.
which that surprises me to be honest. But like Double Fox is generally considered the best team there.
Yeah, in Crag's case, it's different because he's slow. All the
Yeah.
double characters we see are very fast.
Exactly.
So Crag is still a good team. Crag is still good enough in doubles to be a good team, even with weaknesses. But you'd be better off with a different comp most of the time, unless you both just can't play any other character.
Yeah. I mean, you don't necessarily need to team with someone fast, but you need to team with someone that can initiate.
Yeah,
Which can
Crag is
mean-
better off in a support role.
Right. But, like, that's definitely what it seems like. It seems like he can, like, convert his teammates' openings into kills very effectively.
Yeah.
It seems like he can hold on to those stocks very effectively. And it seems like he can just be a scary body on the stage in general.
What was
without having
very
to move very much.
interesting was that usually with Crag Absa is the point going in with the up special and like using Cloud to control stage and get those openings. And Crag is support for that to help her out because she's a light character. But then with Cheesy and Next, it was actually support Absa and aggro Crag.
Yeah, you're right, because Next was playing a really cloud-heavy role.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know what to expect going into doubles. I was expecting, I guess, much more like a close-range brawly-based gameplay. So to see so much projectile-based play come out from that Absa was surprising. It almost felt like watching how Saroas approaches singles, for example.
Like Next and singles is very aggressive, but I think they, like Next and Cheesy, been playing together for such a long time, they kind of decided on the optimal team role. And especially with Next not going to as many events recently, it might just be better to put him in the support slot.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like, if Absa is drifting away while putting a Cloud out, that means that you have the potential to get only, you know... well, if Absa is drifting away while putting the Cloud out, Absa is safe, but you're still putting out that 2v2 threat.
Right.
Like, that Cloud is, like, acting as an additional threat that sort of, you know, adds some pressure to whatever your teammate's doing. You know, it's not quite the same as actually, you know, being there yourself, having your character better themselves, but it's that extra pressure.
You can still
while
funnel people into your
safe.
teammates.
Yeah, absolutely. Was that a Crag sound we heard?
Yeah, I heard a Crag sound. This might be Next and Cheesy. I don't think, we might be seeing Sego and Losers as well.
Okay.
Those would be my two guesses as to who the Crag sound. Oh, or ZB.
We have seen very few teams that don't have a Crag.
Yep, Crag and also Absa was in every team in the top 8 of the last wave.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was Pig Penguin,
Okay.
then me and SBS is Absa, and then Hoppy and Akashi's Absa, and Slime and Proto's Absa. Rounded out the entirety of top 8 from that side.
Okay.
So I think we just got all the Absas on one side, but Crag is eternal. Crag's going to be in every side.
Gotcha. Makes
So
sense.
I think we've got ZB, Cheesy, and Sego all in this side. Oh, and Biover. So yeah, it's just a Crag show. This is ZB.
ZB wearing a mask, so we can't really know if he shaved his mustache or not.
Oh no, we'll have to get him on commentary.
All right.
It's
I'm
done.
very excited for this set. These look like 4 very fun characters to put in doubles together.
So
2
many
Crags,
Crags.
mandatory, of course.
Yeah, Soul Rifle also on the Crag, so there's just tons of them. We're probably going to see all 4 people making it out on the Crag, right?
I guess so. I mean, I'll be real.
All 4
It,
teams.
it feels to me like Crag's a very healthy kind of top tier doubles because
Yeah, I think he's a healthy double top for doubles.
for starters, double Crag's not that good, despite Crag seemingly
Yeah,
being the
like
the
double
best
Crag
doubles
is
character.
still a very, very tight tier team and viable, but you'd be better off putting someone else to complement him.
Crag also just doesn't seem to like create like really degenerate situations. Like that doesn't seem to be like the reason he's good.
Crag
like,
is kind of just a healthy character in general once you get past how his initial gimmicks work with his specials.
He has a good arsenal of tools and mix-ups.
Once you
That's what
know how to
want from a
parry
fighting
his
game
once you know how to parry his specials, he's pretty healthy.
Yeah.
Especially in doubles where the wall pillar is weaker, because his toxicity comes from his longevity in singles with the wall pillar recoveries.
Wait, speaking of parrying his specials, does that mean ZB's down special tricks are extra strong in doubles, where
Oh,
getting
yeah.
those parries is even more insane to do?
Well, especially in doubles, if you're running at ZB, you're probably making a mistake. You should be going for a 2v1 if ZB's playing defensive, especially because Edelus is such a big target. Edelus's runaway game is very poor, so Edelus is constantly under threat.
Gotcha. All right, we got the Crags fighting off stage here. Oh my God! Soul Rifle getting the kill there
Oh,
on
and Bagel
ZB.
takes a run off there. That also saved Soul Rifle.
Really strong start from Red Team so far.
Oh,
and-
double needle
my
kills Bagel
God.
off the side. Just drifts too far out. It's already a bit of a disaster for Bagel. Edelus is just such a vulnerable character in doubles.
Oh, I can believe it. He's got such a big body. I feel like he's got some mash options. but,
Edelus
like, they're
needs
not
a big
amazing.
stage. Edelus just needs to be left alone. There's so much chaos, and Edelus doesn't benefit from any of it.
How does Edelus set up ice in doubles, especially on a small
Just
stage?
for icicles are pretty fine in doubles because it's pretty rare to get them parried
Okay.
with all the chaos.
Although the platforms make icicles a little bit annoying here.
Yeah,
I suppose he
safe-
could go
safe.
for uppy wavelengths. But
Yep. Man, Bagel's even on the verge of getting 5-stock here. Just a rough opener.
it really feels like, I mean, Edelus without ice is kind of a very bad character.
And he's just got no room to go. Even with ice, you can't do dash attack, wave dash back, neutral, and doubles.
Yeah.
Because for one, they can just leave. And for two, there's a teammate that can save you from the Edelus combos. So ZB just having to deal with a 2v1 here. I would say Edelus is a low tier in doubles.
Okay, I can see that. Having to set up just to get mobility does not seem worth it.
Yeah.
Although the armor does seem nice. Although I guess you can rack up 40% armor real quick in dubs.
Yeah. And plus, just having the time to get armor is super annoying with with how long it takes, someone can just run over and boot you. Like, even if they don't interrupt the armor, they can sort of combo on you after.
Yo, why saving his teammate from a down B spike with a needle and then taking the kill off the
Y
top?
played that game great.
Really, really good stuff from Soul Rifle and Y. I know a lot of people have been very bullish on Soul Rifle coming into this tournament. Soul Rifle's been popping off in online singles events over the last, like,
And online doubles
month or
events,
two.
honestly, when he enters.
Oh, online doubles as well? Has he been teaming with Y statically?
I'm not sure. I think it was Halite for a while, but Halite did stop playing Rivals, so
Okay.
that was a scary team, Soul Rifle on the Crag and Halite Ellie. Ellie's a good doubles character.
That does sound very, very scary.
So now with Y, it really is my first time seeing them team. They may have done doubles, but it's online doubles and they're coast to coast. It's like, I think Georgia for Soul Rifle and Cali-ish for Y.
Yeah.
So that's just on delay-based doubles net code. It's just ugly. You're not going to get real good practice until you're in person. So it's good to see that their team is looking awesome here.
Red team banning most of the big stages, leaving Fire Capital and Frozen Fortress open.
I'd pick Fire Capital, I think.
They're thinking hard
Frozen's
about it.
good too. I don't like Treetop with the Blast Zones. The Blast Zones are no good in that stage.
How was Rock Wall in doubles?
It's actually pretty neutral, honestly. As long as you don't die off the side, it's a very wide stage, is the thing. So it's pretty healthy, honestly. It's just the Blast Zones that make it annoying.
Doesn't it kind of, it really changes the dynamic for some characters, right? The ones that are like really, that bring survivability to the table. Like, characters that want to live a really long time.
Yeah,
assume
Crag
they
on
can
Rock,
hard
Crag
there.
doesn't like Rock Wall as much as in singles.
That's so wild.
because of the survivability factor. Crag is the ultimate stock tank. So if he dies early off the side, it's extremely debilitating. Like, he's fine everywhere because he is top tier. But his preferences, there are differences.
Makes
stage to
sense.
stage.
Oh, that down strong DIing hard to the left.
Yeah, I just wasn't ready for it. Bagel's already dead.
I mean, I assume ZB thought he was going to be sent vertically and was survival DIing for that.
And finally, they got stock off the board, but they've already lost 3 of their own. I think that against this team comp especially, it's just a nightmare for Edalus. Rhino is so annoying, and with Crag pressure, like projectiles everywhere, it's just a nightmare.
This is just getting...
Bagel's no good, very bad day. Terrible.
Red team just has an insane amount of momentum, and there's no sign of them giving it up.
And there's really no ice either. Bagel just can't get any ice down with the platform layout. That's kind of why I like Fire Capital, because it has an open center to put ice down.
Yeah, that does seem like a nice pick for that. Yeah, like we saw the side B right there, but what's it going to do for him? It sets up a down B that doesn't hit anything.
And ZB in a bubble! Okay, you can actually get Crag's down B dunk out of bubble pop. It's pretty tight to line up.
Oh, really?
But you can hit that.
Okay.
Like if you practice.
Because in theory, you should always know exactly when the bubble will pop, right?
Yeah. If you time it, you got it.
Oh,
I usually just forward it myself because it was hard. Okay, they finally have momentum because Bagel has the armor.
How long is he going to hold on to it for? Oh
I
my
think
god, Rado getting in
one or
on
two
the
more
armor.
hits and it's fine. But finally get something started on Y. No ice though still, and ZB's already eliminated. This is doomed. Okay, they do, Soul Rifle's giving Bagel a lot of space there instead of throwing the rock. Maybe he thought the rock would hit Y. Just Dacus. I saw the Rhino Dacus, but it was just a combo instead.
Is that a pop-off?
Yeah, Soul Rifle just pops
Hell
off.
of a pop-off.
Soul Rifle just pops off like whenever the soup of the day is one that he likes, you know?
I love Soul Rifle, dude. That's so hype. He brings so much energy to the game. He brings so much enthusiasm to the game.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
He's really...
That youthful energy.
Sure, I mean, we could call it that, but like, he definitely, like, he's always talking about like how just passionate he is about the game. Like, I say talking about it as if it's like empty talk. It's not empty talk, but like, it's so clear from the way Soul Rifle talks that like, he just has the W on his mind.
Yeah, I
at
agree.
all times. It's just like at the front of his prefrontal cortex, just like a W.
He hasn't been broken yet by disappointment and loss, in game or in life. You can really see that it comes across in his conduct and his gameplay.
Wow. I have no idea. I have no idea what to say to that.
I mean, it was only half joking, honestly.
I didn't think you were joking at all. That's why I didn't know how to respond to
Yeah.
it. I thought you were completely serious.
I'm ready for.
I still am pretty sure you're completely serious.
I'm ready for Jaded Soul Rifle in 10 years.
That sounds... I can't even imagine it.
This tournament
I
could
can't
be
even
Soul
imagine
Rifle's
it.
greatest triumph, or the first horrible disappointment that he will remember until the day he dies.
10 years from now, Soul Rifle's become Dark Soul Rifle.
Dark Soul Dark Soul Rifle.
He's changed his cover photo on Twitter to a fully black banner. Inverted his profile picture. All right, who do we?
I think BioBurb is up since I can hear the keyboard noises.
Ah, I see. So
And
BioBurb and Zaro.
I think they'd be playing Assault Rifle again.
Oh, that's gonna be super high. That's gonna be really, really cool.
Yeah, that is their set, so that's going to be an excellent one.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah,
so that's our last winner set of the block. There's still some losers set. Well, ZB and Bagel are going to fight through it.
Yeah, how does Bagel do in dubs usually? Because
He's
Bagel,
usually pretty good.
Bagel's a super strong singles player and like pulls upsets all the time out of nowhere.
I
But,
think he was just against a horrible team comp
Yeah.
this time around. Like both players and the characters they were using, it was just not what he wanted to see at all. Like in a slower comp, like against an Absa where he has time to like space her out and get the ice set up, or a character that you can dash deck into more easily than Rano and Crag who are just walls and hitboxes. Like Edelis can get reasonably comfortable. But as we could see there, if he can't get comfortable, he just gets knocked off stage, he has no ice.
So is Edelis' forward tilt not a good way to set up ice against these like really short range
you
characters?
can short hop it.
You can short hop it.
Or no,
well,
you can you full hop it. You
Okay,
full hop it.
you can full hop
It's
it.
very punishable on whiff, which in doubles can be a mess.
Will it get reliably punished? So like I guess like the way I see things, whiffs in general are less reliable to punish in doubles.
Yeah.
Because there's just more situations that can happen. Your opponent can just be in more states that aren't
Well,
amenable.
I would
to
usually
acting.
put quick moves in that category. Like you're not going to whiff punish a Crag Nair on landing or a Crag Fairnling, but Edelis' forward tilt it also has a lot of active. So there's so much time that someone's always going to be ready to pounce on you in doubles. So if you spend that much time just to make ice, they might just get the punish.
Oh, and that's wild. That means it's like actually really punishable if you hit with it. Because there's a ton of hitballs on it. Wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
like it's very easy to get saves out of Edelis hitting that move, I'd say.
All right, forget
There's
Dark
Crag.
Soul Rifle. We have Dark MSB and Dark Pride now.
Don't worry, I'm Caucasian enough to shine through any darkness.
Your skin is definitely reflecting the one light source we have very effectively.
I'm illuminated.
The angel we need right now, MSB.
Okay, we've got Cheesy next back. Oh, Cheesy next against Sego Anti. This is a lethal pool.
Please make the Crag team pose noise stop.
Yeah, so there's gonna be a Crag on every team from here on out. Like every set, every team.
As long as
Crag.
it's not a Genesis Crag on every team, I'm good.
Yeah, true.
I don't know if I can hear two teams doing that.
Yeah,
for minutes straight.
there is. I think they may have taken out the duplicate skin bug for the workshop character release or something or other.
All right, so this is gonna be a different team then. So we're gonna have Sego Anti.
Yep.
Versus Cheesy and Nex. Seeing the Opsa come back out from Nex, I'm very excited to watch this because I feel like this Opsa has been some of the most unique gameplay we've seen during doubles so far. I feel like the playstyle Nex has been going for is so far removed from what everyone else has been doing.
Yeah, I agree. This is like some doubles masterclass stuff. As far as teamwork and roles go.
Because like everyone else is
said role
playing
play.
a very like normals-based gameplay is what I would say. Like
Yeah.
very much
The isolated 1v1.
Yeah, like choose good positions, choose good spacings, and choose good moves in those spacings, right? Whereas Nex and Cheesy have this broader macro level strategy that they're clearly
they do have
putting
macro.
together. All right, and stage striking has begun. Maybe. Oh, yo, wait. Sego's playing Rana.
Yep.
Why is Sego playing Rana?
Sego can play anyone. But it is interesting. Does mean that there's not a Crag on this team for this set as yet. Might just be a pick to chase down the Absa. Maybe Sego watched the earlier set and saw how well Y got the chase down on Nex in those middle games. Alrighty, pretty bad team synergy coming out from the macro appreciators. Both backing each other around a little. So this is Treetop. They were very comfortable here last time. We can already see Nex on that platform, laying down the clouds and retaliating when necessary. Yeah, Nex only in doubles, not singles or workshop as far as I'm aware. So this is it. Like if Nex and Cheesy lose 2 games in this set, that Nex is done for Genesis. Just going to be spectating with the homies from here on out. So pretty important set for Nex. This is because this is the set for Nex to. I don't really know where I'm going. We're just saying the same thing over and over, but yeah, this is important for Nex and Cheesy.
You're saying this set affects whether Nex plays at all. The rest of
Yeah,
the set.
like this could be the last one. No corner.
And so far, next doing a great job. Tanking very well at 3 stocks. Oh, are we going to be able to pressure Rano here? Sego's sitting at 3 stocks as well.
Oh, perfect cloud edge guarding, and Cheesy finishes that stock off. So this is what I was talking about with Anti's last set. If you can take those stocks off the Ori, and Ori has to give Crag a stock, it gets pretty grim.
Right, that makes sense. Because like you said before, at that point, your Crag stocks are Ori stocks.
Yep. And so it's very, I'd say it would not be uncommon for Ori to lose 4 stocks where Crag loses 2.
That seems right.
Or just like a light character like Raster or Maple.
Yeah. And that's not even from the perspective
Ori's
of,
already
like,
lost 3, and Ori's already lost 3 before Rondo's lost 1.
Right, like that's partially a matter of like their characters intrinsically being survivable, and it's also partially because the team is making decisions about who to attack based on who's more survivable. So Ori's problems kind of get exacerbated.
Bad DI there from Cheesy on this stage. It's unforgivable. These last ones are insane. A great comeback effort from Sego here. They're all even out on last stock.
Oh my god, these down strongs from Mobs are just moving everyone about and finding the
Wow,
up air
there
off
it
the
is.
top.
And yeah, it's just tough to deal with Crag in the 2v1 because a lot of what Ori gets off of Crag is in long form combos and edge guarding, and you just can't get your hands on him.
And Cheesy and Next will take that first game. Really strong stuff. That small stage, I mean, that horizontal small stage didn't really seem to hurt them too much because they were able to abuse the circular nature of the stage very well.
Exactly, use the platforms very well.
Like, it never felt like, even though, like, Next was constantly being surrounded by close-range threats, it never felt like he didn't have an out. And
Yep.
he was able to set up Cloud pretty reliably.
And Next also was able to hold his own in scrap with Nair combos as well.
That goes a long way. I mean, the fact that, like, just in general, the long-range characters in this game tend to be pretty good at scrapping.
Yeah.
There tends to be, like, this dynamic.
This is just a game where everyone can scrap.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
Edos
you're right.
and,
You're
Edos
right.
and Sylvanos wouldn't have the worst of it, but they've still got pretty okay options for that. Sylv would be the worst one.
I feel like I wouldn't call any of Sylv, Edelus, Claren scrappers, per se.
Yeah, I'd agree. Claren can scrap, but her kit's not suited.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot that can go wrong. And with Sylvanos, if you're scrapping, hello? Your moves are so much startup. Edelus can just nair. On the ground, he can't really scrap. His jab's good, his nair's good, but he can't really, like, get in there.
Well, yeah, I mean, once the ice is set up, you can, like,
Yeah, with the
play
ice with the dash
aggressively
attack.
with your footsies.
Okay.
But,
I
like,
don't agree.
jumping is still a commitment.
I don't like this counter pick at all. I think that Anti is just going to die to these forward airs and up airs from Absa and Craig.
But surely Cheesy and Next will also die from the random strong hits from Red Team.
That is true. I think that Next could be in pretty big danger from Abrano stuff. But, okay, Anti probably should have been dead there already on Rockwall.
Oh my god. Next trying to get the forward
Cheesy's
tilt.
rotation right now. Oh, great save.
Are
Yeah.
you charging from that?
Yeah, it's just a doubles awareness thing. Just not realizing how easy it is to get
God.
saved off of charge strongs.
5 rock tools in a row. Some things don't change between singles and doubles.
Oh, and Next just handles Sego Rano by himself. Okay,
And
already
Cheesy's
a
gonna
great
clean up
lead.
the other stock. Yeah, 6-4 right now. This is harsh.
Ooh, Next with an unintentional team combo there. Laddering Cheesy right up into the back air. Still though, here's some crack stuff. Yeah, don't pick Rockwall given Orient. You can't. You should be banning it. So we might see Anti have to take another stock.
Yeah, honestly, it does feel like Nex is... Okay, as I said, I just commentated as cursed him, but overall, Nex has been able to just keep center for so long that even though he's going to die very easily when he's off stage, he's just not off stage at all, so it doesn't really matter. And Cheese's support is strong enough that Rano Ori just not getting enough straight hits.
Okay, Sego does take an edge guard there. Next just holding jab at ledge, but actually turns around and does a down storm to get Sego off his back. Does allow him to recover though. Okay, we got a parry here. That's an easy kill. Sego not able to save it. Just
Double up
gets
strong
another
to
one
take
out.
both out? This is going to be a hard...
This is 3
hard
stocks
hill
as
to
well,
climb
yeah.
for Sego. And Rano's disadvantage state, perhaps not the best. He's kind of combo food. His airspeed is really, really bad, and he's going to be forced to jump a lot to get out of here.
Yeah, Rhino doubles is okay, but I mean, I don't know why you would pick it when you have a Crag or Shovel Knight, you know, and that's the set.
Yeah,
so that was
good
a top 8
games.
qualifier. We should be done with best of 3s. From here, we might have one more with if ZB and Bagel's next set is streamed. So for Next and Cheesy are in top 8. We will see them one more time, probably playing against who I believe is seeded to be Bagel and ZB for top 6,
Okay.
which is the next block after.
What is your theory for why he went Rano? Because I'm just so confused. Like, I mean, I know Sego enjoys playing a wide variety of characters.
Might
I've
just
seen
be
him play
yeah,
so
it
many
might just be a
characters
for
in
fun
DX
pick.
before, but
My theory would be for front pick.
Okay.
It might be a thing where like you're losing on your main and getting frustrated. And you don't want to get frustrated when you're just playing with your homies, so you just go in a secondary and try to just chill, play the game.
There could be external factors from elsewhere in the bracket that might affect these decisions too. That's interesting. Do you think there's anything about the matchup specifically why you might want to pick Rano versus Apsa Crag?
Rano can rush Apsa down pretty well.
Okay.
He's got really good air control with needles, and his neutral kind of keeps Apsa honest in a lot of aspects.
Needles are interesting. I feel like I see needles a lot coming out for saves, especially off stage. But I feel like on stage we're not seeing them come out that much. I feel like the reward is pretty low overall.
Yeah, it can be tough to get a charge going because it means like doing nothing for a minute.
Yeah. And getting single needles, I feel like if your teammate's in just the right spot, that's great. But if they're not in just the right spot, then it's pretty whatever. And like stacking poison is also pretty whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's easy to just hit someone to get the poison off in doubles. Whether it's a Rhino or not.
Yeah.
You're not going to see something where like Rhino's zoning Apsa and she takes 20% throwing clouds.
Right, exactly. Like just in general, the extent to which you can play like a long-range damage game seems different. Like playing long-range seems very much about like setting up for position, but like you need to actually get the hits in to like rack up the damage.
Now Rhino's airspeed can also be annoying for team combos if he just can't reach. Because there's a lot of team combos where like the teammate jumps up, double jumps, and gets perfect drift to land that up air. Rhino doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
He's stuck.
I mean, there's the very specific situation where Rhino's super jump will probably close out a few punishes that you otherwise
Yeah, the super
wouldn't,
jump is
but
nice for off the top stuff.
It's not as general purpose as just having good drift.
Yeah.
Like good drift is just such an insane mechanic to have.
Yeah, like that Ori Apsa kind of drift.
Yeah,
just go
exactly.
anywhere.
Exactly. I mean, like having good drift, I think goes a long way towards keeping soft pressure. Like if your opponents are being juggled, for example, like let's say they're coming down from off stage, or let's say they're coming from off stage, and they maybe like have some resources left. Drift is a big part of how you can keep exerting pressure while staying safe, because it basically is your equivalent of an aerial dash dance. It lets you threaten and bait at the same time, and
Exactly.
if your character can't do that, you're just going to lose it on so many situations.
Like part of why Apsa is so good in both singles and doubles. Like for the neutral, that drift is insane. Being able to throw a cloud and then drift backwards real quick, dodge a punish, even if the cloud doesn't hit. And in doubles, it gives you those up airs. Like you can go anywhere horizontally and just land that up air to kill super early off the top of any kind of ladder from your teammate.
Yeah,
so
that is really crazy.
BioBurb and Zaro. We're doing the winner set. Should be a best of 5. They're in top 8.
Okay. Oh, is it not just top 6 for best of 5?
It is top 6, but it's the Genesis top 6 where winner semis doesn't count as top 6.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's going to be the same for singles.
Gotcha.
So Sunday won't have winner semis. That'll be one of the last sets on Saturday.
Did they pop off over winning the stage strike?
I told you.
Oh my god.
It's the whole thing. The whole thing with these people.
Alright, looks like blue team here is going to try to avoid the bigger stages. Which...
Looks like a treetop ban as well. Just maybe not a fan of the blast zone.
Yeah, I guess it looks like we're trying to go somewhere more horizontally oriented, which is going to work out pretty well for blue team. I think Rano overall prefers more horizontal space to work with.
Right.
Because
First grounded play at least.
Yeah, and if Rano is going to move vertically, they want to be able to do so with plats. Like,
Yeah, that leapfrog stuff.
right. If Rano is working with wavelands, Rano's movement's amazing. If Rano's working with airspeed, Rano's movement's very, very bad. And the platforms play a big part in determining how Rano is able to actually use those movement options. But anyway, here we go. Here on Gates.
Rano is actually invincible after hitting tongue briefly. You have to wait for him to spit the body out, and then another little mid to punch the end line.
Why?
If you hit him while he's consumed someone, it won't hurt. He's fully invincible. I think it just probably crashed the game.
Wait, is this true for the other, like, command grams?
No, because for Rano's grab, they actually disappear. They're gone.
Oh, the object is removed from
I'm pretty sure.
the game maker room?
I'm pretty sure it's just gone. Like, the object moves for other grabs like Clarence, but for Rano's, it's gone while it's in him, and then it gets spit back out. It might be invisible.
That's what I would have expected.
It might be invisible.
Because I feel like the position coordinates aren't going anywhere. They can't just, like, destroy all that information, right? So...
Gonna be a great edge guard here coming out from Soul Rifle. Wait and bait on that crack killer. Getting rid of the 300 percentage on the crag is super important. Zara wasn't a decent higher percentage just at first stock. It's not a huge deal. But Y looking... yeah, there's Y here. Y looking awesome.
Yeah, why playing the 1v2 game really effectively? Just dash dancing between these two players really, really well. Honestly, a big part of playing 1v2 is just trying to look as threatening as possible.
Yeah,
if you're using your movement to make your effective range much, much bigger, suddenly your opponents have to spread themselves apart a little bit more to be able to cover both ends of it. And that gives you a little more room to play with. And why able to use that wave dash back and forth so effectively to stay safe. Tanking a 137 right now.
Yeah, I agree with you completely about 1v2s. I mean, I've been in both ends of plenty, and the number one thing that you don't want to do is commit to a move that's punishable. Even on hit, if you hit one person, the other person punishes, it's a bad idea. Ooh, Y ends up taking a death there. It's already actually a stock lead, but that's soon mitigated by Rano Fair, and another Rano kill. So Y's just everywhere right now.
Yeah, I assume Y was stalling down there, hoping that Soul Rifle was going to be able to come down there and get a save, but alas.
Yeah, so the main thing for 1v2s is actually hitting with moves that are mobile. So if you're surrounded, you want to hit with like a dash attack that sends you so that you can't get punished by the teammate and just keep the combo going real quick.
That makes sense. High drift aerials, I assume, are a big part of that.
Yeah, aerials are perfect for that job. As long as you don't do like a landing aerial.
Yeah.
Like a statue landing aerial without using it all.
Right, makes sense. I assume some of the slippier characters can even make their grab normals work with their wave dashes.
Yeah, all depends on the lag. All right, we got last stock on everyone here. Windows almost done. Maybe an upper would have done it. That was a forward air.
Oh, the Crags trying to bash it out with each other.
We got Zara in a bubble. It's gonna be a pillar save. Zara has no resources.
Oh my god.
Zara needs to be. Oh, the puddle!
And staying safe with that puddle too. Usually you'll see that up B get punished pretty hard.
Bio kills his teammate. Could be anyone's game here.
Triple digits on both sides.
Okay, yeah. Perfect bubble by Y there. But misses a tongue. Okay, so it's gonna be a not enough room. Yeah, just stalled a little too hard. A Windows Bio Burb was ready with some kind of kill option, though the bubble may have saved. Because what I believe was happening there was Y was repositioning the bubble to tank a Crag Fair and live, basically, after landing with the dive kick. So it was a perfect setup, land with the dive kick so that they can't hit you out of the air so you get your resources back. And then drift into the bubble and use a full recovery with resources, but it was just pixels off. The difference between a perfect option, recovery, DI, neutral, whatever, and the worst possible option is usually just 1 pixel.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's true in so many different situations in this game. I mean, the difference between hitting and whiffing is 1 pixel. And that's the difference between you win the situation and
I mean, I brought up DI because optimally the best DI is being 1 pixel away from the blast zone. Because that means that they can't follow up and hit you very easily because you're right in there.
I think a big part of platform fighters, and I think this kind of applies to, like, sort of, I don't want to say extreme sports because that makes this sound like this is like intense the way like skateboarding is.
Competitive
like,
activities.
Right, a lot of competitive activities are about figuring out how to get closer and closer to the lines without crossing them. The game sets up the lines for you, and if you cross them, you just die. But if you find a way to push really, really close to them and max out every little bit of the value of your character, the value of your moves, that often is the difference between separating the best from the good.
It's also the difference between rulebook changes.
Yes.
Not even in video games, but like in the NFL, there's a lot of rulebook changes. Like when one of the coaches just does something strange or commits an intentional penalty to do better, which is usually frowned upon.
When you say rulebook changes, you mean between games, not during
between
a game.
seasons.
Oh, between seasons. Okay.
Ooh, doesn't air dodge. Could have had an up air though.
Oh, that high fair really not going to put too much pressure on. Oh, but is that going to kill?
Oh, wasn't at the wall. Couldn't protect. All right, so an early lead once again for these two. But we've already got the rally coming out from the Crag. Bio Bird.
Bio Bird trying to threaten up there. Oh, we got the jump bait from Soul Rifle, and Soul Rifle's in control. The Crag did it right here. Going down there, controlling the pillar. But Bio Bird staying safe, and now Soul Rifle's got to figure out a way to get back. Getting gimped by his own rock? Oh, he's fine. He's okay.
Oh, charging up strong on there. I think it's going to be punished.
Oh, great DI there.
Yeah, Bio just zoning. Y can't get a good opening. And it's just 2 isolated 1v1s for now. Still continuing through the edge guard.
Oh, and
right, Y going to have to use the bubble tongue sling. Rock is going to interrupt that. It's going to be a short-range sling, but finally, Soul Rifle able to get away and save with the pillar.
Great save.
BioBurb actually kills Zara off the top with that up air. So, still a very close game. Great air dodge there, getting out of Zara's stuff.
Oh, why going down there trying to secure the edge guard on BioBar, but hitting him back
Oh,
on stage,
wasn't ready for
unfortunately.
Oh, double dunk!
Oh.
We are even in stocks. Bio gonna figure out how to get back up here. Oh, that's just dead. No, Rana back here so weak. No, does a pillar and gets a perfect tech air dodge to get out of that situation. Back on stage, but back is takes the stock. Zara needs to convert off of this. On the 2v1, we're gonna see what we were talking about earlier, the 2v1 situations. If we can get back to neutral at all. Oh, but see, that's a bad move to use because it's punchable by the teammate.
I do imagine that Orkane has some of the best movement and moves for dealing with the situation.
Yeah, Nair Bounce is pretty sick for this kind of context.
Nair Bounce is sick, the tilts have low lag, and the wave dash is pretty long, honestly.
You can see Zara switching targets after every hit.
Yeah, plus that bubble butt, you can like get out of some nasty situations with that too.
Bad roll.
Ooh.
So we got an even set now. Everyone on the board. I think Bio got at least one, maybe even 2 kills on Zara that game. So definitely just something to work on. Hitting your teammates, obviously bad. We don't really need to talk in detail about that. But for Bio especially, it should be like kind of a veteran's thing to know when your teammate's in range of a move you're throwing out when it might kill.
Well, we don't have to talk about whether it's good or bad to hit your teammate, but I think it's worth talking about how to recognize a situation where it's risky to hit your teammate.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, sometimes what I'll see, generally when I see a player hit their teammate, it's because they were going for the opponent, and the teammate didn't realize that you were going for the opponent, and the teammate puts themselves in the way and gets hit. And it all happens within an unreactable amount of
So
time.
I've got a rule of thumb for that situation when I play doubles, which is if your teammate is starting a combo, this is just for team combos, I guess. If your teammate's doing a combo and they're too far away to follow it up, then you can go in for your share because they're too far away so they won't get in the way of your hitbox. But if they're close enough to combo it themselves, don't get in the way because they've got it.
Gotcha.
If you want to get in that situation, you should be focusing on the other person to make sure they don't interrupt your teammate's combo.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. So basically, whoever has the advantage state should keep the advantage state unless they're going to drop the advantage state. Okay. That seems like a pretty good rule of thumb. Seems pretty generally applicable.
So, relative even game here, both the Krags are stocking really hard, but this isn't Orkane's favor because his down stroke is just so easy to get these kills with. And it's going to be Krags, though. Krag playing back from the Orkane, worried about that down strong, and didn't see who was behind. Right, still stock tanking. Rana's on 1 stock.
I'm going to be honest. It sometimes feels like Rano doesn't know what to do.
Okay.
Because I see, like, this is not a slight on why by any means, but this is more of a discussion about the character. Because I see, you know, why, like, try to, like, mix up his movement a lot and try to cover a lot of different situations, but I feel like he's not able to actually put out a lot of threats. A lot of the actual hitboxes Rano will put out are kind of a commitment.
You're right, yeah, he's a little stubby.
He's stubby and he's floaty.
True. So I think Rana would want to play more grounded neutral, focus on the dash attack as the main vehicle for starting conversions.
Okay.
Zaro actually dangerously close to having to take a stock from Bio here. And there's the Rock Shine combo that seals it.
Like, right here what we see as the strategy coming from Rano is lots of empty platform movement, react, look for an opening, get your hit, and then if you can't follow, go back to what you're doing. And it's kind of working, but it's
the isolated 1v1 strategy.
Yeah. Which, I guess it's unclear to me if it's a rewarding enough way to play it.
It might be suboptimal for doubles. It's a singles-based strategy.
Yes.
Oh,
absolutely.
they still out of stock. Oh, that's going to be a big parry. Y actually couldn't follow up. Good, important tech. Super urgent. Gonna have to kill this Krag. Okay, that's gonna barely do it. So Zaro, I'd put the Krag in front here. I put the Krag in front because Zaro's in danger of dying to a deck from grounded.
Generally, the character who's going to die sooner, you want to keep further away. Just let them beat the stock tank at that point.
Just gonna be.
Did he way overcomplicate? He way overcomplicated.
Yeah, that's especially when you're against 2 people. It's very tempting to do a complicated recovery, just to make sure, just to fool them, you know. All right, so I think we've seen them win on a big stage, Y and Soul Rifle. And Merchant and Gates, the other 2 stages we've seen that were won by Bio and Zaro, were kind of medium picks. So an interesting dynamic when the medium stages are the ones that you're not good on.
Yeah, that does seem interesting. I mean, I suppose that the extra space works well for how the Rano wants to play, whereas the Krag kind of has like a go-to game plan on every stage.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Rano and the Orkane are going to define the stage selection meta here a bit more than the Krags are.
Well, we see the offstage platforms banned by the Orcane team. Probably because of bubble edge guarding kind of thing. Because Orcane's bubbles do get a bit worse at edge guarding once there's another platform.
Tower of the Heaven is a pick. This is a pretty small stage
Yeah,
overall.
it's a smaller stage for double for sure.
Which I'm a little concerned, but I mean the platform layout does seem pretty good for the same kind of bait and counter strategy they've been playing. So then again, all 4 characters on the stream really have these like big range, not range in terms of hitbox size, but in terms of reach, big reach, threatening plat drop aerials.
Yeah.
And so for all of them to be able to like scrap this away at the same time is going to make things very messy very quickly. We already see 3 stocks down and Zaro a high percent.
Bit of a nightmare for Soul Rifle in that platform, killing his teammate and then dying immediately to the Orcane. Okay, should have a kill here up down. Strong. Ooh, Window. Bio was ready for the save, but it has to be with forward air, which isn't itself a move that can kill. But Zaro not at all ready for that DI.
Nair probably a more reliable save move.
But less range.
Less range,
so
right.
it might not have hit. Okay, that is an up strong you can do.
Are you? Wait, did he go under the tongue with the up strong? Is that what happened right there?
That was a tongue whip for sure.
Brutal.
Okay, Zaro takes another one. Soul Rifle potentially on winner stock here. Oh, a cursed pillar gimp. And that's gonna be it for Biostock there.
Oh my god, Zaro putting on so much damage right now. And BioBird being able to follow up with a rock
killing everybody.
Oh my god.
That's crack special. So Soul Rifle needing to 2v1 to stay alive in winners.
How was Krag as a 2v1 character?
Nair's great. Nair hits both sides.
Spin to win?
Nair hits
Spin
both
to
sides.
win?
Combos on their side.
Oh, he's spinning to win!
There it is. Us off to Zaro now. Could we see a game 5? Bard is getting 0 death by Soul Rifle. A little uncharacteristic on that offstage DI. Maybe DIing in so Soul Rifle could jump in and help, but it just leads to Krag putting on more damage. This is still one of Zaro's best matchups, though. This is such a pain.
One of Zaro's best matchups, and also, like, Soul Rifle is off his main for singles purposes.
Yeah. So, like, how often has Soul Rifle played Krag Orcane, especially against Orcane?
Oh my god!
That was nasty, and that's the set.
Using the extra hit pause
of the rock.
That's so cool. That was such a cool way to end that set. Oh my god.
All right, so we are still going to be seeing Soul Rifle and Y down in losers side top 6. They will be playing against Akashi and Hoppy.
Okay.
And I believe up next we still have ZB Bagel and Nex and Cheesy in this tournament.
Okay, and this is probably going to be our final top 6 qualifier then?
I think that might be. We may have 2 sets.
Okay.
If there's still a loser set leading up to that final top 6 qualifier. But one of them's definitely Nex Cheesy. They're either about to play or waiting for this next set for someone to play.
Sounds good. Next Cheesy versus ZB Bagel does sound really, really interesting if that's the matchup.
I'm really interested because I feel like Bagel might be a lot more comfortable against the ABSA. Because in that last set that he lost, he was getting 2v1 pretty hard by 2 aggressive characters.
Yeah.
So with Nex having a more defensive playstyle, it might finally give Bagel the room he needs to breathe.
If Nex is jumping away to set up a cloud, that means he's jumping away from Edelus.
Bagel is very used to getting cloud thrown at him.
Yeah.
trial by fire.
Right, right. Like usually you don't hear someone say the Edelus is happy to be switching into the opposite here, but I guess that's doubles for you.
Dynamics have changed.
Yeah. Do we ever see Bagel try out the Krag in doubles? Because I know Bagel does have a Krag.
Very rarely.
I've seen him pull out even in singles.
I think it's more likely to see Bagel setter.
Oh, okay. All right, word. I mean, Zed or Krag honestly sounds like a very strong team. Yeah. Like, Zed are able to clean up. Zed are probably maybe the best character in the game for, like, converting random situations into kills.
Yeah, just killing you for no reason.
For no reason. That's a good way to phrase it. I mean, it's just... I imagine it's really difficult to avoid being set on fire in doubles. Like, you set a fire puddle, the people aren't going to be playing around it. Like, you want to
hit... You can just do a down B and neutral, set that one up, honestly. It's pretty likely to work out in the chaos.
And honestly, like, he's got pretty low recovery strongs overall. He can kind of spam strongs relative to most characters in the game. And if your opponents are on fire all the time, and you just have fire puddle down all the time.
You know what they say about Zedderburn strongs when the opponents are on fire.
Tell me, MSP.
They
do
say about it. Knockback.
Really?
Somehow that takes Dan a whole minute to say on commentary. We love Dan.
Today I learned something new about rivals. Even the commentators are learning something new every day.
Yeah, I actually found Turn Down for Walden in the airport. I went up and was like, hey man, can you help me out with something? What happens with Zedderburn strongs when the opponents are on fire? And he's like, I can't do this right now. I haven't slept forever.
That's so funny.
He literally said, I can't do this right now.
Poor dude. No, travel is hard for a lot of us coming in. Like, a lot of people who are here right now definitely did not sleep enough last night.
Right.
Definitely had, like, a bunch of people here came here on red eyes.
Yeah, I'm going on 3 consecutive nights of 6 hours of sleep, which is workable, but not enough.
It's
I'm going to try and make it work today.
that, I would say that meets the thresholds for functional.
Yeah.
So congratulations on the functionality.
I might take a nap after lunch if I feel that way.
Word. Yeah, I will admit I did not sleep a lot last night. I think just like sleeping like a new place can also throw
That's
off
fair,
a lot
yeah.
of people. Definitely throws me off.
Yeah, I've already been in
sometimes.
the hotel for 2 nights, so I'm getting there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and I guess that's it for this block.
I wonder
Top
what
6
happened to Next and Cheesy then.
has been set.
I gotta figure it out.
So, do we have the bracket then? Do we know what the other losers quarter set is?
I don't. Yeah, who's in losers quarters?
All right, so we have a blank screen.
We have Smash GG doing his best out here as we're checking the bracket right now.
Isn't Smash GG the worst?
So what happened down here?
So our angle and CB started late because their game so they barely started as that set finished. So they were going to finish by the time.
Okay. All right. So Bagel and ZB are gonna have to finish their sets on a different setup. So we are done for this block. That's it for us.
All right,
Thanks for having
that's
us.
good. Folks, thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more
More doubles
Speed the
action.
Block.